The people at Sun-Maid Raisins sent us a bunch of different raisins to try. Some of them have different flavors with them, but they also sent us this cookbook. So I told Kevin, they sent us a container, a large container, a 22.59, I think, ounce container of Sun-Maid raisins. So I said, let's use those plain raisins and pick out a recipe from this book that they sent me. So this is a really cool book. It tells the history and everything behind the company, but then on in here, it does give some recipes. So the recipe that I chose, it is Lechera apple raisin cake. And we have never used the Nestle La Lechera. It is a sweetened condensed milk, and we've never bought it before, but this sounded so easy to make, and we love apple desserts anyway. Apple, raisins, cinnamon, that all sounds very, very good. So we figured we would make it. This makes 16 servings. It only takes 15 minutes, and I think most of that is with the apples, because Kevin right now is peeling and coring and slicing the apples. It didn't say peeled, but I assumed that they would want it peeled. So
didn't say peeled?
It didn't say peeled.
No.
I said peeled. So do you not want to peel it then?
I'll peel some of them and leave some.
Okay, so we bought a bag of Gala apples. It said 6 apples. It did not give a size, like small, medium, large. So he has... I'm
assuming just to fill the bottom of your pan.
Right, he has 8 here, but they're smaller. And so like he said, he's going to peel a couple, and then he probably won't do all of them, though.
Yeah, if it didn't say to peel them, I thought it did.
No, well then you can, the rest of them,
I'll just slice them.
So it won't be as time consuming.
I can do it as a lot quicker.
Okay, so he's going to be doing that. I have preheated my oven to 375, and I've greased a 9 by 13 inch pan. I use this Great Value vegetable oil to grease the bottom of the pan. But I'm going to go over the ingredients that you need real quick. You need 3/4 cup of chopped walnuts. I've already measured everything out. You need 1/2 cup of sugar. You need 1/2 cup of raisins, which this is a large container. I want you to see how many. I used 1/2 cup, and there still is, I mean, almost the whole thing is full. Then you need 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. You need 1 14-ounce can of Nestle La Lechera sweetened condensed milk, and that's it right there. I've already opened it. You need 1 cup of flour. 1/4 or 1/2 a stick of butter melted, which I have right here melted. 2 large eggs. 1 tablespoon of baking powder, which I have right here in this bowl. And then you need powdered sugar. And the powdered sugar is just to like drizzle, like scatter over the top. So it doesn't tell you a certain amount that you need. So I'm going to get everything set up, and we'll be right back. So Kevin cut up our apples, and so
we ended up using 6, by the way.
Yeah, we used 6, just like the recipe stated, and not 8. So you want to add your sugar and your cinnamon and your walnuts that I'm gonna dump out 1/2 of them on the counter, of course.
Luckily, I didn't show that. You did.
Fortunately, my counter is clean. That's okay. And then the raisins. That's the star of the show, is the Sun-Maid raisins, and you're gonna mix this up. You have your greased, we call this a lasagna pan, your greased lasagna pan, and you just dump all this in there, like that. And spread it out, and gonna set this to the side. So we're gonna leave this right here. We're gonna go over to the mixer, and you're gonna put your flour and all the remaining ingredients. Everything is gonna go in here. Now you're going to mix this together until it is smooth. You're going to take this and you're going to pour it over the top. Now I'm going to spread this out just a little bit and cover my apples. And then you want to put this in the oven. You want to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes. We'll probably go to 40 minutes and then we'll be back. This is how it looks when it comes out of the oven. I left it just shy. There was like 52 seconds left on my timer and I started smelling it and I thought, ooh, I'm gonna take that out. So it looks perfect to me. I'm gonna put the powdered sugar on now. Now this is just the way Kevin and I do it. I have this little basket here and a sieve and I have a bowl. So I'm gonna get a spoon. You don't need a lot. Just put a little bit in here like that. And it's just honestly for decoration. So you take it and you just lightly tap it. I don't like to put too much. Just enough to make it pretty, like it has snowed like this. And this is something that you are supposed to serve warm. So you don't wait for it to cool off. You go ahead and serve it. So now I'm going to take it out like this. And in the picture in the cookbook, they had it in squares, like just like you would cut a regular cake. So that's how I'm going to cut it, just like I would any cake. So I'm going to take it out like this. We all know the first piece is usually the ugliest, but now that does not look bad to me.
That looks nice.
Yeah, that came out really easy. So I'll get us another one and then we'll take it over to the table and give it a try. So the directions say that this is great with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. So just know
is it everything?
Yeah, so you can add a scoop of vanilla ice cream. They also said it's also wonderful drizzled with Abuelita syrup. We've never tried Abuelita syrup, but I'm wondering if that's not like a Lyle's golden syrup, which I can imagine.
Pancake syrup or yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be wonderful on here. So it does smell wonderful.
It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be.
No, but I love the flavor of those apples and cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I get some raisins though too.
Yeah, I got a big bunch right now.
Mmm. And I just got walnut.
I did too.
And the first bite I had, I only had the apple and cinnamon, but the second bite had the raisin and the walnut, and I love that, along with the apple and cinnamon.
I think this is very good. It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's
However,
really not.
It's very, very good.
But if you added syrup to it.
Oh yeah, that would sweeten it.
Yes.
And the cake part literally looks like, it reminds you of the texture of a cinnamon roll.
Yes.
It's got that kind of flaky.
Yes.
Or not flaky, but the fluffy kind of, fluffy but firm.
Right.
Kind of texture.
Almost like a biscuit.
Mm-hmm. That's really, really good.
Yeah, it's almost like a biscuit texture.
Did you try it by itself, just the top?
I will right now.
Yeah. It tastes like a little bit like a cake.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of a dinner roll.
Well, you know, if anybody watches this channel knows I love apples anyway.
Yes, and that is good. And normally, just to eat on their own, Kevin buys Honeycrisp apples. But because we were putting them in a recipe, he settled for a bag of the cheaper Gala apples.
Yeah, and Honeycrisp would cost you a fortune to put in.
So if you can make it with cheaper apples, why wouldn't you?
And the apples are good and tender too. They're not super cooked where they're not mushy, but they're softer. So I like that. I like everything about it.
I think this is going to sound crazy because apples is one of the main ingredients, and I actually like the apples. But I swear you could make just like a loaf of bread like that with no apples.
Oh, and just make the bread with raisins. It'll be almost like raisin
because
bread.
I think it's delicious. I love it. I love the texture and everything of that bread.
Or cut the apples in half maybe and dice them up smaller to where there's smaller pieces.
It's so good. I can see not just doing that in the big like casserole, but also you could make muffins. You could do muffin cups and fill up muffin tins and do the apples and all that in there too. I think this is a really, really easy dessert. I like it a lot. And once again, it was in this book that Sun-Maid, they sent me the book, and there were lots of recipes to choose from. So there will be a lot more for us to try. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you give it a try, let me know, and thanks for watching.